Greetings everyone, this is Primal Sun with the Primal Sun Foundation. Just saying thank you for watching this video. Today I'm gonna be showing you a compostable compost area. Now we see mostly, because it's so economical, so available, a lot of people create composting areas with wood pallets. Now I was gonna go around the same route, except my situation, one, I didn't have a way of transporting these pallets, and two, I wanted to do something more even beyond that than just repurpose, but to create something that doesn't ever need to be thrown out, does not create any trash on the earth whatsoever. So what we came up with is basically what you see here behind me. This is a field of grass, basically. Now this field of grass, we have cut this grass originally just to make a trail. Now we have cut more of it. And I want to show you here what it is that we did with this grass. So here you see, this is the raw cut grass. It is very long and lengthy, and right, that's the grass cut in its raw state. We have some material there. Now here's our composting area, built entirely of compostable material. So as you can see, we have just simply put posts down. These are actually fallen trees that we split, and we have obviously the four corners, and then we have supporting beams in the middle. And what we made the walls with, as you can see here, is the cut grass. So the grass runs along. It runs along in about 3 sectors, and we left this area open, obviously, to be able to access the compost. Now here's another view. Very simply put, this right here is our composting area. We're actually gonna build maybe 2 or 3 more to help in the rotation process, but this is the beginning of our compost. This is probably about 3 weeks of constantly adding material we've gotten to get this big pile here. The dried leaves are just collected down here from the forest, and we bring them up. And so yeah, we've been observing this composting area. As far as, I'll talk a little more about the necessities for compost. So as you know, with compost, you need 2 materials. You need the green and the brown. You need the carbon and the nitrogen. You need basically food scraps, veggie scraps, peels, leftovers, cooked food, raw food. Essentially, you don't want any meat or any heavy dairy or any processed food, any corn syrup, things like that. Now, the reason for the meat is because it creates maggots, and that'll just infest your compost. So as long with the corn syrups, me personally, I just try to keep it as natural as possible, so I'm not trying to put any artificial things inside of the compost in order to feed the plants in the future. So now you can also use brown paper products as your browns and things like that. Shredded paper if you want to go that route. So essentially that's what we have. We have the browns and the greens mixing up here, and we've been blessed to have this rainfall come. So that's been watering the compost, and that's what allows us to dampen, and the water starts to soften everything. The water starts to penetrate everything in a way where it makes it mushy, but it makes it more readily, it quickens up the process of breaking down. And then we need the sun, which this spot in particular here, it does get the morning sun, and it gets early before noon sun, but after that it's shaded. So I'm excited to see how it plays out, in the sense of how compost. But as of right now, I've been adding water only on occasion, mostly rainwater. I'm about to go harvest more dried leaves, But I want to give you another closer look at the compost, and maybe we'll turn it 1 or 2 times for you to see. So you can see in here, it's getting nice and mushy. Water is absorbing. Now it's still pretty whole. It hasn't completely begun breaking down yet because we have been constantly adding to this compost pile. And we were just mixing it up here, so you see things like eggshells, plantain skins, apples, squash skin. We've been eating a lot of plantains, so you'll find a lot of plantains in here. Even the flowers from Valentine's Day made it to the compost, so everything green can be composted. So let's see if we can get a little closer look. I haven't been able to afford a pitchfork yet. So I just been sharpening sticks and using that to mix the compost lightly. But when I do get a pitchfork, I'll also be able to mix this a lot better. So it's easier obviously with 2 hands, but I only have 1 hand available here. I've been trying out the orange peels and things. A lot of people say they don't really break down. They call it citrus, but so here's a better look. Now you can see how this is starting to mush up. It's basically starting to eat itself. So we're gonna give this a good mix. And that's composting area number 1. So simple. When I no longer need this, I can simply return all of this back to nature, all the building materials, and not create no disharmony within nature's state already. So in the future, I'm going to create a video and show you exactly how I did this. We have the material ready. I'm going to build another one, and then that'll be great so you can see it. All right, everyone, I hope this video has somewhat helped you in some way, of maybe giving you an idea of how to build a compostable composting area, or even just start some compost. Thank you so much. Primal Sun with the Primal Sun Foundation.